Teeny tiny changes that help you to live a better life are magical. I'm talking like minuscule adjustments, baby changes that make it easier to do the things that you want to do, like pick up that new habit, stop that other habit, be more productive, drink more water, all of the things. I've talked about the importance of environmental change before. If you're changing a habit, if you are pursuing a new goal, start by actually changing your environment so it kind of supports you to do that thing, or not just kind of supports you, like it really supports you. Reduce the friction between you and that behavior that you want to be doing, and increase the friction between you and that behavior that you really do not want to be doing. Sometimes that's literally all that you need to make change happen. Like depending on the severity of what you're changing about yourself, about your life, small change to environment can make it so much easier. In this video, I want to talk about 16 really simple little changes that I've made that have in turn made my life easier. And I'm not saying like they've changed my life drastically, but they've made things that I wanted to do easier. You may not use like these particular ideas and apply them, but you might think about the goal that you're pursuing and be like, oh, okay, I could actually like move that thing around and that would make everything much easier for me. Firstly, drinking more water. I used to not drink very much water at all. I got a water bottle. It's big. I took the lid off it, so it's basically just a big old cup. There is zero friction between me and this water. So I like to veer away from recommending tools to change a habit, but sometimes if your tool, like your water bottle or your workout app or whatever, is super easy to like use and access, you are just far more likely to use it. The next one is having a day planner next to my bed. For the past few years, I have been someone who has planned my days the night before, so like written out my to-dos the night before, but I got to a pattern where I just wouldn't remember to do it. But by having a day planner where I can just remove the pages, put the day planner beside my bed, can fill it out before I go to sleep, take the page in the morning, I never have to wonder where my day planner pages are, and they're right in my face at the perfect time that I actually want to be using them. Putting my sunscreen next to my makeup. So about a year ago, I was very late to get onto the very important habit of putting on sunscreen underneath my makeup every single day. And I found it a really difficult thing to get into the habit of, but by setting my sunscreen right next to my makeup makes it so much easier. Once again, this is about like putting the thing that you need in the right place that you're gonna see at the right time. Having an open basket with my workout gear. So you would have seen me do this if you watch my Reset Your Life challenge. If you haven't watched that, I'll have it linked up here and down below. This is a good time to go through it because it's mid-year. So I have an open basket. It has my yoga mat in it, has my little weights in it. And working out is a tough habit to build. So I feel like any friction that you can remove between you and that habit of working out is good. So just being able to like reach in, grab my yoga mat with absolutely no effort, like my yoga mat isn't tucked away in a cupboard, I'm far more likely to actually do it. Blocking websites that aren't helpful. So I guess this isn't like a physical environment. Sometimes out of sight, out of mind is the best environment change that you can do to stop a bad habit. If you struggle with social media in particular, I highly recommend investing in a website blocker. I've talked about this so much before that I won't hop on about it now. If it's something that you struggle with though, I did make a whole video on it. I'll have it linked up here and down below, and I recommend some tools and things that you can use. Putting my supplements and my pill next to my breakfast. I never used to consistently take supplements. Like I was shocking. I also had a bad habit of sometimes skipping my pill, which then causes like a midday freak out. Like it's just not a good time. The first thing that I did was I put my supplements pills next to my toothbrush. Someone told me that that would help, but I was always in a rush. I'd brush my teeth and then I'd just be like, ugh, or I'd forget and I'd run out the door. It started to get to the point where I was just like, okay, like this is just an issue that I have personally with supplements. Then since I'd already built a good habit of filling up my water bottle every morning, I put them right where I have my breakfast, and I'm like so consistent. And it was really with no effort. All I did was like move the bottles. That's truly it. So if you make one environmental change and it doesn't seem to help, like you move something somewhere and you're like, well, no, still not working, don't be afraid to make another environmental change. Putting everything into jars in my pantry. I made this environmental change just to get organized, but it impacted me in a bunch of other ways as well. So just by making that one environmental change, I am so much more conscious when I go shopping, because I only have so much space, I only have so many jars. We shop from our cupboard more, we spend less, and I'm just like a much more conscious food shopper. Having a heater in my room. This sounds like the tiniest change and you'd think like, how would that make your life better in any way? But getting up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning when it's winter is difficult. The more pleasant you can make life for yourself in the morning, the more likely you are to actually stick to the habit. When I get up, it is dark, it is cold, but I hop out of my bed and I've got my dressing gown, my fluffy black dressing gown right there, and I've got my slippers, and then I walk out and I've got my heater. Like, it is set up so that I am as cozy as I can be at that time of morning in the winter. Setting up a Google routine that goes off every morning.
I mix it up. I like to keep the morning on its toes.
So if you're a forgetful person like me, this is gonna be a really impactful environmental change. At 7:30 a.m. in the morning, my Google goes off and it tells me what's on my calendar for today, tomorrow, it tells me the weather, and it tells me any reminders that I have. So even though those things are on my phone, I'm the first person to forget what's happening in my day. Such a helpful little environmental change to get you a little bit more organized. Having an open wardrobe and the right set of drawers. So I used to always have a messy wardrobe. I was actually watching some of my KonMari decluttering videos from a long time ago. The first proper decluttering that I ever really did on camera. I was just looking at my wardrobe and I was like, holy, I cannot believe I let that happen. Two big changes that have helped me to keep my wardrobe tidy is having an open wardrobe. I adore my open wardrobe, and also because it's out in the open, you're a lot more conscious of it, so you keep it a lot tidier. I'd say like 90% of the time my drawers are super organized compared to before when I had shelves that look like this and everything was always a mess. Things were always everywhere. It's just a simple environmental change, like different furniture, but it's made such a difference. Having an open laundry basket. So by no means am I someone who never puts my clothes on the floor, but I'm working on it. And when your laundry basket has a lid, that is one more step between you and putting your clothes in the laundry basket. Reduce any friction when it comes to a bad habit like that and get a laundry basket with no lid, just like open, easy to chuck stuff in. Having a cordless vacuum cleaner. So I recently got myself a Dyson, which is exciting. I did not enjoy vacuuming before, and it was very hard to get myself to vacuum. It didn't help that it wasn't a great vacuum cleaner, but also like there was the cord, I had to fish it all out, get it all set up. With a cordless vacuum cleaner, it's literally just like lifting it up and starting to vacuum. There are so many less steps between me and the thing that I want to be doing. Getting an inbox. So my desk actually gets covered in papers like all of the time. And for me, getting an inbox was so helpful because a lot of the time I'm not done with the papers, even though they're like scattered everywhere. So I can just chuck them all in my inbox in my little weekly reset, then I can go through all of my papers and my desk remains clean in the meantime. Checklists. I love checklists. We know that I love checklists. So I've created a bunch of little checklists, like my cleaning checklist, my weekly reset checklist, if then checklist, and it is so much easier to motivate yourself to do something when you have a checklist telling you exactly what to do. I don't know if it's an environmental change, but it kind of is, because like physically you're bringing something up and it's helping you to do the thing. If you do want some ideas for checklists to make your life easier, to make your life more organized, I have a whole video on that. I'm gonna have that linked on the screen. I appreciate you so much and I will see you soon.